So I suspect everybody's had a chance to go up on the observation deck. If you haven't had a chance to do so, we also have a visitor center right down there past the flags. That's the big window building. So if you find this interesting, you get more history in there. There's some exhibits, a film, souvenir shop, air conditioning when it's warmer, bathrooms. So, you know, all the good stuff. So recommend you check that out if you get a chance to.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial. So glad you all made it out here today. My name is Ranger Krista, this is Ranger Katya, and Ranger Rob. And in just a few minutes, we'll be doing a musket demonstration for you all. But first, I just want to give a little bit of information about why we're here, why we have these old guns and dressed in all these weird clothes at this very large column. So, as Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial, we're here for two reasons. One, to commemorate the Battle of Lake Erie during the War of 1812. The second reason is to celebrate over 200 years of international peace. But going back to that battle and that war. So, what happened here? Basically, during the War of 1812, the United States was just beginning to become a nation. We had just fought the War for Independence, the Revolutionary War, just a couple decades before. And we decided that we were going to declare war on the British and Canada because they were under Britain. Here in Lake Erie, being just a couple miles from Canada, we were close to one of those borders. So the United States and their very, very new fleet of 9 ships were stationed right here in Put-in-Bay. Put-in-Bay just being a natural harbor, a nice protected place where they could also get a view of the British fleets going by, delivering supplies and soldiers and whatnot, and leaving when they were out of supplies to head back. But anyway, on September 10th, 1813, Oliver Hazard Perry and his fleet headed out just past Rattlesnake Island, which is the island right over there, to engage with the British. In that battle, we captured all 6 of the British ships, which was one of the first major Navy victories for the new United States, which was an incredible feat for the time. So, with us being fairly new, we didn't have a very, very well-trained Navy, or military, or really very many standards as far as uniforms came into play. So you all notice we're all dressed pretty differently. 2 of us, me and Ranger Katya, are dressed as sailors from the time, whereas Ranger Rob is dressed as a militiaman. We didn't have enough sailors for our new ships, so we had the militiamen. Perry had some militiamen and some other Army soldiers on board his ships as well. You didn't have to know how to sail, you just had to know how to pull those ropes and be strong enough to do that. So we're going to fire in just a minute.
All right, so we're going to demonstrate for you some of the firearms that would have been used during the War of 1812. Ranger Krista and Ranger Katya will be demonstrating the flintlock muskets for you. These are your standard military arms. These are smoothbore muskets, which means if you cut the barrels in half, they would be as smooth on the inside as they are on the outside. My firearm, Hello Bird, looks very different. It's much shorter, it's got this very irregularly shaped barrel. This is not a smoothbore flintlock musket, this is a flintlock rifle. Now, who here has ever thrown a football? Show of hands. Okay, who here has ever seen a football thrown? All right, not quite everybody. Who here knows what a football is? All right, 100%, fantastic. So when we throw that football, we want it to have a spiral as it goes through the air. And this is gonna make it go further, it's gonna make it go faster, and it's gonna make it go more accurately. And that is the purpose of the grooves on the inside of my rifle. When I fire it, that bullet is gonna go further, it's gonna go faster, and it's gonna go much more accurately than these military flintlock muskets. Well, you might ask yourself, if that's the case, how come we all don't have rifles? Well, a well-trained soldier is going to be able to load and fire their muskets here in about 20 seconds. My rifle, if I'm lucky, I'm going to be able to fire that in about a minute. I'm going to hit my target, But in that meantime, they're going to have 3 chances to shoot back at me. Okay? So as a result, oftentimes what they would do is they would take their riflemen and pair them with some muskets so that the muskets can fire while the rifleman is loading. And as a result, this is going to be more of a scouting weapon on the flanks to harass the enemy, to pick off officers, to disable gun crews. This is not going to be your sort of mainline battle weapon. All right, so we've had you sit here and listen to us talk. What we'd like to do now is really show you how these muskets actually work. You guys want to head on down? Unfortunately, to do that, we can't do it right here in front of the column. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on the other side of the platform. We have a rope down there on the lawn so you can get up close. If you really don't want to go there, you can go kind of along that wall up over there. But we're all going to head down over that way to fire the muskets, and I'll explain to you a little bit more of how that will work once we get down there. They're loud, but they're not particularly loud. If you have a hearing aid, I'd recommend taking it out or turning it down. If you're concerned about the noise when you hear me give the command to make ready or aim, that's going to be your signal that my next command will be fire. I will also be placing my right hand over my ear like this as a signal, so if you want to cover your ears, that'll be the time to do so. Sound good? All right. Attention! Recover arms! Open pan! Handle cartridge! It's okay, it happens. Prime! Shut pan! Load! All of it's going in. Yes, sir. Draw rammer! Ram! Return rammer! Make ready! Aim! Fire! All right, so that was just 2 muskets being fired. And you all heard how loud that was. You saw all the smoke that made. In a battle, you'd have hundreds, if not thousands, of muskets being fired. So very quickly, you're not going to be able to hear all of those commands. So instead of getting all of those orders, they're going to be listening for a single shouted order from their officer to prime and load! And now, without any further instructions from me, they're going to go through that entire loading sequence. They're still going to await my command to actually fire because we want to get a single massed volley. Otherwise, just, it would be this scattered little firing. As I said before, a well-trained soldier is going to be able to do this in about 20 seconds. Although, as you can imagine, on the battlefield, with people shooting at you when you're stressed, it gets a little bit slower. The well-trained British soldiers were able to average about 3 to 4 rounds per minute. The American regular soldiers, 2 to 3. The militia, fire once and then run away. Aim! Fire! Okay, so those are the muskets. My rifle is going to be a little bit different. Okay, half cock. Shoulder arms. Shut pan. Order arms. Fall out. Now next, I'm going to demonstrate the rifle, which will be a little different as you're going to see. As a rifleman, I'm a rugged individualist. I don't wait for orders. I just go at my own pace. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm drawing out this measuring tube. So I need to measure out my gunpowder, which is in my powder horn here. As you can see, this is already a much slower process. Once my powder has been measured out,
Oh no!
pouring out.
You're losing powder.
I pour it down the barrel. Yeah, there's a little bit of extra. That happens from time to time. Now, if I had a live round, it would be in this loading board here. I've just got wads of paper. So what I need to do is push those down the barrel to get it started. Next, I'm going to ram it down just as they do. But because of the rifling, it's not nearly as easy to do so. I have to really work to get it down there. Now, you may have noticed that I kind of did the loading process backwards. I loaded my barrel first. The next step is to prime. So I'm going to take my powder horn again. Get some priming powder in there. Now I'm ready to fire. And I have to repeat that entire process every time I want to load and fire my rifle. Okay. So, these muskets and this rifle, does this seem like the best way of solving your problems?
No.
So not only does that monument represent the victory at the Battle of Lake Erie, it also represents the peace that's existed between the United States, Great Britain, and Canada ever since. Since the War of 1812, although we've come close, we've never gone to war with each other since that point. We've come up with better ways of solving our problems. I'd like to thank you all for coming out here with us. If you have any questions, we're going to hang out around here so that we can answer them for you. Pause to take pictures or anything like that. If not, we're not going to hold it against you if you guys want to head out. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
On behalf of the National Park Service, everyone welcome to Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial. My name is Ranger Bill. I'll be your guide for the next 58 seconds, making this the shortest tour in the National Park System's elevator ride, but we'll be in here a little less than a minute. Monument's 103 years old this year. They built it in 1912, finished it in 1915. It was built to honor Commodore Perry and those who fought with him at the Battle of Lake Erie. It is the only International Peace Memorial also in the National Park System. Alright, here's the fun stuff. 317 feet, that's where we're going. Tallest open-air observation deck in the National Park System. 12 feet taller than the tip of the torch of Lady Liberty in New York. Yeah, take that, New York. Yeah. So I've got a few things I got to go over. Rules: there is no running unless you're being chased by a swarm of hornets. We'll allow that. Please don't pick up the random great children on the deck and put them on your shoulder. If you see a purse on the wall, don't stand next to it. No, please, that's very important. Please don't place anything on the ledge at any time. No hats, no cell phones, sunglasses, cameras, purses, yourselves, ex-wives, ex-husbands, yada, yada, yada. You get the picture. There's no eating, no drinking, no smoking. Stay in school, don't do drugs. Blah, blah, blah. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to answer. So you have Rangers on deck. We'll answer them for you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the view.
So the ferry brought us in up here. That's the airport, and then that's downtown Put-in Bay. So there's downtown. But zooming in on it, let's see here. So that's the brewery, and that's where we ate lunch. Southwood, Ragster, and everything out in the distance from Cedar Point, but it's too foggy. Think of the view. Yep. So there's the monument, and here's the museum, and here's our golf cart. Hallie, what do you think of the golf cart?
I'm a little terrified when you're driving it.
Yeah, she always thinks we're going to flip, but we're in no danger. Commodore Perry. So here's some muskets. What do you think? Part of the ship. Hard to believe that is that.
What you doing?
Well, just taping.
Yeah. This is my favorite part, because I just like seeing how they constructed it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, this thing is like probably like 4 feet tall, and there's a bunch of them over there.
Yeah. My favorite thing is this used to be a swamp. Now it's not.
So like, this is the elevator shaft that we went into all the way up to the top that they were constructing. So that elevator is over 100. That elevator shaft is over 100 years old. The mechanism is probably newer.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, it's taller than the Statue of Liberty by less than 50 feet, but we'll take it. Yeah.
Like that guy smoking his pipe.
Yep.
So here's where we're heading the boardwalk to get some of the best lobster bisque ever. There's the vat of the deliciousness. So how is it?
Apparently not as exciting as whatever's happening behind me.
Pretty good stuff. Look at that lobster. Look at that lobster. So here we are at the vineyard. Hallie, what are you drinking?
Wine.
What kind?
Saturn.
Yep. But we're here at the winery. Really good stuff. So we're at the beer garden.
I know that it's
We got a pretzel, and it was making Hallie thirsty, so we also got
these pretzels are
Hefeweizen,
making me thirsty.
Hefeweizen and Dunkel. with nacho cheese. So this place I would 100% recommend. Really good beer, really good time. So this is the Roundhouse. So here's the Roundhouse again. We didn't shoot very much because there was a live band and a lot of things happening in there.
Yeah, like I don't know how.
But here, look at all that chicken. Look at all those chickens. That man is the legend, West Side Steve.
You're picking some of the worst songs in the world, so.
And that's a drunk guy.
Karaoke is like the lowest form of life. Steve Simmons, everybody say hi, Steve.
Hey, Steve!
This is my 30th year up here on the rock.
Woohoo!
Means two things. First of all, I work cheap, and I never learned a real trade. So we got Indiana guys, we got Cincinnati guys.
Pittsburgh!
Cleveland?
West Virginia!
West Virginia? Man, my favorite place in West Virginia is Beckley. Isn't that where they got that great? Yeah, tap, that's. I always buy a great big bag of sassafras. I can think of nothing useful that sassafras is required to make. Get it anyway because that's the only place you can get it.
Nah.
Like doing specific things when you go to Thailand because that's the only place. I don't want to get too much into it.
We're gonna stop it right there. So we're getting a couple first drinks. What's this place called?
I have no idea where we are.
But West Side Steve is playing. The West
We are
Side Steve.
in the Keys.
The Keys at Puddin' Bay. I got a rum runner, and what'd you get?
I got a tiki lemonade.
I'm assuming
And then we're gonna split some cheese curds. So we'll let you see it when it comes.
At one point.
So there's the water. It's amazing. You can actually see the bottom there because it's Lake Erie. Some Puddin' Bay bucks. Look at that sun. And then here's the restaurant. There's a mermaid. So there's my drink. I got a rum runner and we got cheese curds. Allie, what's that?
Tiki lemonade. Good, I like mine better.
Nice.
So we're staying at the Commodore on Puddin' Bay. And as you can hear, we have a pool view room and there is a DJ at the pool and it is pretty loud. So, but the room is pretty standard, if not like economy type room. There's 2 beds. I think they're full-size beds. I don't think they're queen-size beds. And then a sink area and some like space to hang your clothes. And then a bathroom in here, which there's somebody in there, so I'm not going to show you the bathroom, but it's pretty standard. Toilet, shower. There's not a bathtub in there. There's just a shower. But there's also vinyl plank flooring in here or ceramic tile, I'm not sure which, instead of carpet, which is nice. And like your own wall unit for heat and cooling, but your view is of the pool with a pool view room. Imagine that. And this is where the DJ is. I don't know if you guys can hear the music in the background, but it is startlingly loud even with the door closed. So if you plan to stay here in a room with a pool view, I would suggest bringing earbuds or something, earplugs, to block the noise because this goes on till late in the evening.
I know it's too dark to see, but this is the world's longest bar. So we're here at Maheda Bay. They have sand and a live band. Get a coconut drink. it's time to get a drink at the fire engine. So these seats are old fire uniforms on top of fire extinguishers.